Do I have your attention? Today I'll be making a follow-up video to a video I made a few weeks ago called Misconceptions about Introverts. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put the link down in the description. There'll also be a link at the end of this video if you want to go back and watch it. Today I'll be giving you some tips and advice on how best to communicate with an introvert. And I'll be referring to introverts in general as well as myself specifically. As I said in the last video, I am an introvert, big time. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like to communicate with people, it just means that I communicate at a different rate than some people. According to the internet, the average woman speaks about 20,000 words a day, compared to men at about 7,000 words per day. Ha! There, see? Scientific proof. She talks 3 times as much as I do. Can't get a word in edgewise. Excuse me? No. I speak 3 times as much as you do because I have to repeat everything I say. Twice. Yeah, I think you guys are both right. I would estimate that for an introvert, 20,000 is probably on the very high end of words for the day. I would probably cut that in half. Maybe 10,000 for women, 4,000 for men, something along those lines. I'm going to try to explain introversion using money as an analogy. So just imagine that every morning you get a stack of bills. And each bill counts as one conversation. So whether you're answering a question, giving an opinion on something, just talking to somebody generally, that's one bill. So for an introvert, their pile is going to be a lot smaller than an extrovert, just because they have a limited number of words, stimuli, conversations that they can have in a day before they're done. Because once an introvert is busted for the day, they're done. They don't want to talk anymore. They're out of words for the day. For an introvert, words, conversations are depleting. They drain energy. For an extrovert, it's completely opposite. They actually gain energy. So for an introvert, words have worth. They have a limited amount that they can go through in a day. So they're a little more selective about the things that they put their words down on. So if you really want to talk to an introvert, you need to be talking about something that they find worthwhile. Now, if somebody asks me about something that I'm interested in, sure, yeah, I'll put my opinion down on that. We'll go through a conversation. Next topic? Nah, I'm not that interested in that. Oh, I'm interested in that one, so let's go with that. Yeah, no, not so much on that one. But you have to understand that there is a limited amount here. It can get to the point where even if I'm interested in what you're saying, if I'm out, I'm out. I don't have anything. I can't. No, sorry. I'm busted for the day. Come back tomorrow. Here's a tip. If you ask an introvert some random question, hey Sarah, who's your favorite Kardashian? And the introvert goes, this can mean 3 different things. Firstly, it can mean I'm out. I don't have any money left. I'm sorry, I can't offer an opinion on that. I'm out. This could mean I don't know enough about that in order to offer an opinion. Or, in the case of this question, it would mean I would not pay a red cent for that pile of crap. So, really, if you want an introvert to give you an opinion on something, make sure that it's something that they see some worth in. Otherwise, they're not going to bother. because it's depleting. You know, you only get so many of these in a day. If you waste them all on like stupid garbage, you're not going to have any for the important stuff. So, you know, you have to prioritize. And one more thing using this analogy, the rudest thing that you can ever do to an introvert is to interrupt them when they're talking. Because if they've already put this down and they're in the middle of something and you interrupt them, you've taken this and given them nothing in return. Especially if it gets to the point where you've changed the subject before they even got to their point. Yeah, don't do that. That is the way to ruin a friendship pretty fast with an introvert. Most people are not going to deal with that for very long. So if you have an introvert talking, that's good. It means that they're comfortable around you, but do not interrupt them when they're talking, because they're in the middle of their train of thought. If you interrupt that, that's not good. And another tip for communicating with an introvert is to pick your location. I really can only connect with one person at a time, sometimes two if they're not talking over each other. But if we're in a crowded place like a restaurant or someplace where there's, you know, music playing and, you know, background noise, people talking, you know, people dropping silverware, you know, there's no way. That's just too much going on at the same time. When I get into a situation like that, it just turns into noise. It just sounds like this. Yeah, that's not fun for anybody. So if you really want to have a conversation with an introvert, make sure that you're in a semi-private place with little to no background noise. Would be preferable if you can. If it's just a general thing, just talk generally, but don't expect them to talk back to you. The next point would be just to skip the small talk. Small talk for an introvert has no value whatsoever. I would even go so far to say as it has a negative value because small talk is so expected of you. So it's like having to pay for it. If you don't pay for it, you're being rude. But you don't want to because it's worthless. Just the hi, how are you, lovely weather we're having, blah. The small talk, just skip it. Just get to the point. People get on my case sometimes because I just jump into stuff. I don't do the whole, good morning, how are you, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't do that. You know, I'll start a conversation like, did you get that report I sent you on Friday? And they'll say, hi, how are you? Good morning. And I'll go, yeah, okay. Hi, how are you? Did you get that report that you got? I mean, really, just get to the point. I'm not going to waste my words on this stupid crap. Yeah, just skip the small talk altogether. All that, you know, that stuff doesn't have any value whatsoever. It's really just kind of annoying. You know, if you want something from me, just ask. I hear it all the time when I'm on the phone. I say, how can I help you? And they go, oh, well, I went to the doctor's office and the doctor gave me this card, and then I drove home and I went to the store and I took it to the pharmacy and they said it wasn't working. And I'm going, how can I help you? Well, I have this card that the doctor gave me, and like, do you need to activate the card? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's activate the card. Seriously? Just, Hi, how can I help you? I need to activate this card. Okay, can I have the ID number? Was that hard? No. Get to it. Get to it. Here's another idea. If you want something, just tell people what you want. I think the world would be so much easier if people just said what they meant. My mom is so terrible at this. As a kid, she would just be like, say these random statements like, "This garbage stinks!" And then she'd go outside and come back in like 15 minutes. She'd go, "I told you to take the garbage out!" No, you didn't. You didn't ask me to do anything. You came in and you said, "This garbage stinks," and then you went outside. If you want somebody to do something, tell them to do it, or ask them to do it. Just expecting somebody to read your mind. I made a declaration, this garbage stinks. So? The sky is blue. What else is new? And this last point is probably more specifically to me than just to introverts in general. This is a personal issue with me. I absolutely hate talking on the phone. Isn't that what you do for a living? Yes, it is. That is my job. That's what I get paid to do. It is work. It is not what I do for fun. I hate talking on the phone. Making outbound calls to people is almost to the point of a phobia for me. But because I work on the phone all the time, I keep it to a manageable level. It's like a weed. The more you pull it, the more manageable it is. But it never really goes away. And if you leave it alone for a long time, it'll grow out of control and take over your life. So I keep it cut down, because I do it every single day, but I also hate it every single day. So don't ask me to call you on the phone. Some people actually leave me messages on my phone saying, "Oh, we're doing this and that. Call me and let me know if you want to do this." Yeah, and that's never going to happen. Sorry. There's only like 2 people in the world that I will voluntarily call on the phone, and there's very specific reasons why. But generally, no. I will not call you on the phone, and I don't want you to call me either. If I keep my phone on silent all the time. Well, mostly because I work on the phone. I can't answer it while I'm on the phone. But yeah, if you're calling me and I see a number ringing and I don't recognize it, I'm not going to answer it. Even if I do recognize it, I'll send you a text message saying text me. So just generally, if you want to get a hold of me, you can text me or email me. But don't call me, and definitely don't expect me to call you, because that's never going to happen. Sorry. I call my mom on Mother's Day, and there's a few other circumstances, but otherwise, no, I don't call people on the phone. And for me specifically, talking is work. Personally, I have a bit of a catch-22 going on here, because this is my job. I work right here. This is where I work. I'm on the phone all day long, 8 hours. I have conversations with like 100 people a day, but none of them are really conversations. They're just, an exchange of facts mostly. I would consider a real conversation an exchange of ideas, feelings, not just facts. But typically, by the end of the day, I'm just like, I don't want to hear anymore about it. I just want the voices to stop. But it's kind of bad on my end, because I need to go out and be social, but at the end of the day, I just want everyone to shut up. So So yeah, I mean, it's hard to find those friends that will just let me come and chill and not have to work to be, to be in a conversation, because conversations are work for me. I mean, it's like, as soon as you get off work, do you want to go to work? Like, no, I really don't. So that's kind of where I am with that. So, again, if you see me and I'm not talking, it's not because I'm mad at you. It's not because I'm upset. It's not because it's just because I'm out of words for the day. I'm busted. I'm all done. My customers have taken all this. By like noon, I'm all done with this. It's like I get toward the end of the day and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going out. It's like, what can I buy with $1? Nothing. So, yeah. So in conclusion, don't call me and only talk to me on the weekends. That's basically what that boils down to. Oh dear. You can text me or message me on Facebook. I do respond to texts and messages. No, seriously, I am pretty easy to talk to or to talk with. But yeah, when I'm burned out, I'm not the best of company. I'm a pretty good listener if you want to talk to me, but for me to be able to contribute, I gotta have something left over. I don't know if this video made any sense or whatever, but it's just a follow-up of my last one. Maybe I'll make another. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear them. And I'll see you later.